Okay, welcome back to our Trend Digital course. This is our sixth class. And today we're going to discuss about the numeric system, which is in this case, we are going to use binary and also the hexadecimal. So from the first class, we have the set theory, and then the second class, we get explain about the what is transistor, digital transistor, and also how it combined to become a logic gate, a functional of logic gate. And followed by the third class, which is the how to simplify a logic function using Boolean algebra. And then for the fourth class, we're going to use a K-map to simplify a function. And then last week, we discussed about a concept of don't care and how we use don't care in K-map while simplifying a logic function. And today we're going to discuss about the binary and hexadecimal numerical system. And next week we're going to use that numerical system for arithmetic purposes. Okay. Before the 2020 curriculum, actually, we not just use binary and also hexadecimal numerical system, but also we discuss about the another numerical system, which is octal. But starting from this curriculum, we're going to exclude the octal numerical system and focus on the binary and also the hexadecimal. And also from previous curriculum, we also discussed about a fraction, how to represent a fraction in binary. But starting from this curriculum, we're going to exclude that topic for the fraction and make it to become optional. So in this curriculum, we're going to use only binary and also hexadecimal for the integer. Integer means we're going to discuss about the positive number and also the negative number. That's all. And then next week, we're going to discuss about how to use that binary and hexadecimal numerical system, positive and negative value, in arithmetic. And we only need about, we are going to discuss only about addition and also subtraction. We're not going to discuss about multiplication and the division. Okay. And for the mid-exam, we're going to have mid-exam on schedule. So you need to check in Iglesias when is the date and also what is the time. We're going to have the mid-exam. And the mid-exam is going to be held using the Google form, just like our quiz today. Okay. Okay, first, why do we have to learn about binary system, or what do we have to learn about other numerical system? In our daily activities, we usually use the decimal system. Decimal means we have 10 symbol because deci is 10. So we're going to have 10 symbol starting from this symbol and this symbol. This represent let's say one pen, and this represent no pen, and this symbol represent that we have 2 pens, 3 pens, 4, 5, 6 until 9. So we have 10 symbol starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because we are using 10 symbol, that means we are using decimal system. On the contrary, in computer and also in digital world, when we break down our computer, it basically just a digital transistor. Remember about our discussion about digital transistor? In digital transistor, we only have two modes, which is saturated and also cut off. So it could either 0 volt or plus 5 volt. Now, because we only have two values for the voltage, either 0 or plus 5 volt, that means we only need two symbols. Because we only need two symbols, we only use this symbol to represent 0 volt, and also we need this symbol to represent plus 5 volt. Now, because we only need two symbols, we call this new numerical system as binary. Because bi is 2. That's the reason why we need to learn about binary system. Because in computer, which is a digital world, in digital world, we use digital transistor. And in digital transistor, we only have saturated mode and cut-off mode, which is will create 0 volt or plus 5 volt. Because you only have two values, then we need only two symbols. These symbols and also this symbol. So that's why we need to learn binary system. Now, so we have decimal system and also we have binary system. How do we transform from one numerical system to another? How do we transform a decimal value to become binary value in binary system? In simple fashion, we just need to divide the value from the decimal with 2. Now let's take for example, I have a value which is 24. This is in decimal. Now I want to represent this value in binary. So I need to divide 24 with 2. 24 divided by 2, we get 12. With the modulo of 0. Which means 24 is 2 times 12 plus 0. This is the remainder or the modulo. Now, we need to divide 12 again with 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6 with the remainder of 0, which means 12 is 2 times 6 plus 0. This is the remainder. Now we're going to divide again 6 with 2. We get 3 with the remainder of 0. Divide by 2 again, we get 1 with the remainder of 1. Because 3 is 2 times 1 plus 1. Okay. Now we're going to divide 1 with 2. So this is our binary system. We're going to rearrange the sequence of 0 and 1 in here from the bottom. So 24 in decimal is equal with 1, 1, 0, 0, 0 in binary. Okay, that's how we transform a decimal value to binary system. Let's take another example. Let's say I have the value of 71. This is in decimal. Now I want to represent this value in binary. So I need to divide 71 with 2. We have 35 with the remainder of 1. And then divide again with 2. We have 17 with the remainder of 1. Divide 17 again with 2. We have 8 with the remainder of 1. Divide 8 with 2 again. We have 4, 0. Divided by 2 again, 2, 0. Divided by 2 again, 1, 0. So 71 is equal to 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 in binary. Now I hope those two examples explain how do we transform from decimal to binary. Okay, now how do we transform from binary to decimal?
So I want to ask question, sir.
Yes, Azria.
So we only get value 1 if the number is odd, sir.
Yes, exactly. So if the
Okay.
number, like for example 2, this is even number, so the remainder is 0. 4, this is even number, so that's why the remainder is 0. That's just like the odd number. 17 is odd number, so the remainder is 1. Okay, thank you, Azria. Now let's try to transform from binary to decimal. Let me clear out space here. Okay. Now let's say I have, okay, let's transform this sequence of binary into decimal. So I have 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 in binary. What is the value of this sequence of binary digit? We usually call it bit. Bit is stand for binary digit. What is the value of this sequence of bits in decimal? Now, before we discuss about this transformation, remember about our decimal system. Remember that if I write something like this, 4, 3, 5 in decimal, this means it is actually 400 plus 30 plus 5, which is 4 times 100 plus 3 times 10 plus 5 times 1. So we have 1 in here, 10 in here, 100 in here. Or we can explain with this is 10 power of 0 because everything power of 0 is 1. And this one is 10 power of 1 and this one is 10 power of 2. Okay, this is what we call weight. Or in bahasa we call it bobot. So if we want to represent a value in decimal, let's say 2, 5, 3, 1, 7. That means 2 times 10 plus 5 times 10 plus 3 times 10 plus 1 times 10 plus 7 times 10. This is power of 0, power of 1, power of 2, power of 3, and power of 4. Okay, now this weighting system is just the same in binary. However, instead of using 10, we are going to use 2 because this is binary system, which is 2 symbol. So this symbol has the weight of 2 power of 0, and this symbol has the weight of 2 power of 1, and this symbol has the weight of 2 power of 2, 2 power of 3, 2 power of 4, 2 power of 5, and 2 power of 6. Okay, now 2 power of 0 is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and 64. So the value of 1000111 is 64 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is 64 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, which we're going to get 71. The same value like the second example. Okay. Now, how about if I try to transform the first example, which is 11000, and transform it to become decimal? Okay. Now, I have 11000. This has the weight of 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. So the result will be 16 plus 8, which is 24. The same value like this. Okay, this is how we transform from decimal to binary and vice versa from binary to decimal. So if we want to transform from decimal to binary, we need to divide the value by using 2 until it reaches 1, like this, or 1. If we would want to transform from binary to decimal, we just need to times each of the bit, binary digit, with 2 power of n. N will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Okay, any questions so far about transforming from decimal to binary?
Sir, can you? I will use bahasa, sir.
Yes, please.
Gimana cara kita kayak nentuin angka yang harus kita pakai, Pak? Apa kayak misalkan nih dari 25317 itu, yang 43435. Nah, gimana cara kita nentuin angka mana, apa 2 pangkat berapa dulu yang harus dijadi 1, Pak?
Okay, I didn't get the question. Perhaps you want to ask about how do we define which one is 2 power of 0 or which one is 10 power of 0? Is that the question?
Ya gitu nggak bisa, Pak.
So we're going to start from the upper right, because okay. Now, let's say I have in decimal 3, 4, 7. This means 7 is has the weight of 10 power of 0. In bahasa, we call it satuan. And 4 has the weight of 10 power of 1. Or in bahasa, we call it puluhan. And 3 has the power of, has the weight of 10 power of 2. Which in bahasa, we call it ratusan. So, because 3 has the weight of ratusan, we call it 3 100 or 300. And 4 has the weight of puluhan, we call it 40. And 7 has the weight of satuan, we call it 7. So the result will be 347. So we're going to have the weight starting from the right, because that's the least significant value. Now that's why we have another terminology. If we have a sequence of bits, something like this, the rightmost bit is what we call LSB, or least significant bit. Least significant bit, in bahasa bit yang paling kecil nilainya. Why do we call it LSB? Because the weight is only 1. Now, because we have LSB, we also have in here MSB, most significant bit, which means bit yang paling berharga. Why do you call it paling berharga? Because the weight is 2 power of 6, which is 64. So that's why we call it, from the rightmost bit is the LSB, and leftmost bit is the MSB, most significant bit. Okay, so we start the weight starting from the rightmost bit. Okay, I hope that explained the question, Azaria. Now,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Beside binary, we also need to learn about hexadecimal. Why do we have to learn hexadecimal? That's because, let's say I have this sequence of bits. Now, anyone want to try finding the value of this bit, because it's very big. So instead of represent a value in binary, which means we're going to have a very large sequence of bits. In this case, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 31 bits. So we have 31 bits. That's a lot to set 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, etc. Now, instead of representing a value in binary, which take a lot of space, how do we, don't we have another system that can represent this number in an easier way? That's why we have hexadecimal. Transforming from binary to hexadecimal is very straightforward. Starting from the rightmost, 1, 2, 3, 4 bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, another 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 bar in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, another bar in here. So we're going to group the sequence of bits with 4 symbols, starting from the rightmost. Now, each of this group will represent a symbol in hexadecimal. Remember, in binary, we only have 2 symbols. So that's why if we want to represent a value in binary, it will take a lot of space. So that's why we need another numerical system, which in this case we're going to use hexadecimal. In hexadecimal, we have 16 symbols because hexa is 10, hexa is 6, and decimal is 10. 6 plus 10, 16. So we're going to use this symbol to represent empty, this symbol to represent 1, this symbol to represent 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How about 10? In 10, we're going to use a character symbol, which is A. So A is equal to 10, and then B is equal to 11, C is equal to 12, D is equal to 13, E is equal to 14, and F is equal to 15. Do we have Z? No, because from 0 to F is already 16 symbol. This is 10 symbol, and this is 6 symbol. 16 symbol in total. This is that's why we call it hexadecimal. Now, transforming from binary to hexadecimal, grouping with 4 bits, starting from the first rightmost group, 0, 0, 1, 1. It has the weight of 1, 2, 4, 8. So this will become 8 plus 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 is C. So this is the symbol of C. Now 1, 2, 4, 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. We have the symbol 9 in hexadecimal. 1, 2, 4, 8. 2 plus 3 is 2 plus 1 is 3. And then this one is 1, 2, 4, 8, which is 14. 14 has the symbol of E. So this is E. And this is 0. And this is 1, 2, 4, 8, which is 11. 8 plus 2 plus 1 is 11. 11 is B. So this is B. And this one is 1, 2, 4, 8 is 13 because 8 plus 4 plus 1 is 13. And 13 is D. And then this one is 1, 2, 4 is 5. So instead of represent a value in binary, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, etc., we can actually use the hexadecimal, which is only 5D, B0, E3, 9C. It's only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 symbols of hexadecimal. 8 symbols in hexadecimal represent 31 symbol in binary. So that's the main reason why we use hexadecimal, because it's easily transformed from binary to hexadecimal. So it's very straightforward to transform from binary to hexadecimal. And it's vice versa, which means if we have, let's say I have 4C in hexa. How do we represent this hexadecimal in binary? Very easy. C is 12, which means 1, 1, 0, 0 in binary. And 4 is this. So 4C is 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. It's very straightforward. Now, that's transforming from binary to hexadecimal. Now, how do we transform from decimal to hexadecimal? Same thing like binary. If we have decimal and we want to transform to hexa, we just need to divide the value in decimal by using 16. And if we want to transform hexadecimal to decimal, we need to multiply it by 16 power of n. Okay, let's take an example like this. I have 71 in decimal. I want to represent this value in hexadecimal. So we're going to divide 71 with 16. It will have what? 4, because 4 times 16 is 64. 64. So we have the remainder of 7. So can we divide 4 with 16? No. So 71 is 4 and 7 in hexa. If we want to transform this symbol of hexa to become binary, it will become 0, 1, 1. Sorry, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. The same thing like, same thing like this. Which one is, this one. 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. Oh, we have, 1, 0, 0. Yes, we have another 0 in here. What? 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. Because this is 4 and this is 7. Okay. Now, how do we transform from hexa to decimal? Same thing like in binary. Let's say I have 4 and 7 in hexa. 4, 7 in hexa. So we're going to multiply 4 with 16 plus 7 times 16. This is power of 0. This is power of 1. So we have 4 times 16 plus 7, which is 64, plus 7, which is 71 in decimal. Okay, that's okay. From the second slide, we explain about why do we have to learn about hexadecimal, and then how do we transform from decimal to hexa. How do we transform from binary to hexa, and then how do we transform from hexa to binary, and then decimal to hexa, and hexa to decimal. Now, last topic is how do we represent negative number. In decimal, we usually use a minus symbol to represent a negative value. For example, minus 7, which means it is a negative 7. Now, unfortunately, we cannot use that symbol in binary system. Why? Because in binary system, we only have 2 symbols, which is 0 and 1. So we need to use either 0 or 1 to represent a negative value. So that's why we're going to sacrifice the MSB to represent this one is to identify this one is negative value or this one is positive value. For example, I have positive 7, which is 1, 1, 1. Now, how do we represent negative 7 in binary? 7 is also 1, 1, 1. So we're going to add another bit in here, 0, to identify that this value is positive, and 1 to identify that this sequence of bit is negative. So we're going to use the MSB to represent whether a value is positive or negative. This is what we call sign bit. Remember about our our class in Alpro. when we want to declare a variable in C, we can use either integer C or unsigned integer C. Unsigned integer C means that C will have the value of positive. It will never become negative. That means C does not have sign bit. On the contrary, if we declare a variable C using integer C, C in this case can have the value of negative. It could have a negative value, and it also could have a positive value, which means the MSB is the sign bit. Okay. So perhaps you can explain by using in C language. Let's say I have integer, let's say unsigned integer C is 65,535. And then in our program, C plus plus, which means I'm going to add 1 to variable of C. So it will become 65,535 plus 1. It will never become 65,536 because this is the maximum value of C. So it will become 0. On the contrary, if we declare C using integer C, and we initialize C with 32,767, and then we're going to add 1 to C. C then will become minus 32,766. Because it just moved from the top, the rightmost to become the leftmost. And the leftmost in unsigned is 0, but in integer, the leftmost is minus 32,766. So that's just intermezzo. Okay, just remove this one again. Okay, so the MSB has become the sign bit. Now, easy, right? But unfortunately, this system has one drawback. Let's say I want to represent plus 0 and negative 0. By using this system, 0 is 0, 0, 0, and 0 is 0, 0, 0. Because this is, we have a sign bit, then it will become 0, and this will become 1. Although, in reality, there is no such thing like positive 0 and negative 0. 0 is just 0. It's not positive, it's not negative. So, in terms of efficiency, we already use 2 sequence of symbols just to represent one value, 0. So, instead of using this system, now we're going to use something that called one's complement. and also 2's complement. Now, how do we represent a negative value basing 1 and 2's complement? It's just by negate everything, each bit in 1's complement, and then in 2's complement, negate or inverse each bit and then plus 1. Okay, let's say for example, I have positive, let's say 12. So it will become 1 and then 1, 0, 0 without sign bit. Now, remember this is 1, the weight is 1, 2, 4, 8. So this is 8 plus 4, which is 12. Now I want to represent this value 12 by using negative value. So if we agree to use, okay, let's use 1's complement. Okay, so I want to represent negative value of 12. Okay, so just inverse each bit in here. 1 to become 0, 1 to become 0, 0 to become 1, 0 to become 1. Okay. Now, the problem is, how can we identify that this is negative 12 or plus 3? Because this is actually also plus 3, positive 3. So that's why we also need sign bit in this case. So this is 0 for the sign bit. And then if we want to inverse each bit, the sign bit is also become inverse to become 1. Now because this sign bit is 1, so this is negative value. And the negative value is negative and something in here. Okay, that's how we represent a negative value by using 1 complement. Now, how about if we agree to use 2's complement? It's just adding 1 in here. So, negative 12 is 1, 0. 1 plus 1 is 0 with 1 carry. 1 plus 1 is 0 with 1 carry and 1. So, this is negative 12. Okay. Remember, 1 complement and 2 complement is just like a standard. If we want to use 1 complement, or okay, we agree to use 1 complement. Okay. So if I'm sending this or if I'm storing this value, that means this is a negative value. And what's the value of this? Wait, do we agree in 1 complement? Yes, we agree on 1 complement. Okay, so just inverse this to become 1100. 1100 is 12. So it's negative 12. That's how we use 1 and 2 complement. Okay. Now, back to basic. Why do we have to learn negative value? Why not just leave it to calculator? Why not just leave it to computer or the program? We need to learn negative value in this case because let's say I want to do an arithmetic function a plus b. Okay, so you just add a and b by using a diagram, a digital diagram, which is an adder to add everything. Now, okay, how about a minus b? Just subtract a with b. It's very simple. Okay, in calculator, it's very simple. But as an engineer, if we want to accommodate this function and also this function, that means we need to create 2 diagram or 2 schematic diagram. One is for addition and another schematic for subtraction. It's a bit of waste of space. Can we just use add? Yes. We can use add to do subtraction because A minus B is actually equal to A plus minus B. So, by using the same schematic, we can do addition and also we can do subtraction. Although in subtraction, we need to inverse the B first to become its negative value. So that's the main reason why in this course, you need to learn how to transform a negative value. Okay? Any questions so far? This is our topic for today. So we learn about binary. We also learn about hexadecimal and how to transform from decimal to binary, binary to decimal, decimal to hexa, hexa to decimal, and binary to hexa, and hexa to binary. And also how do we represent a negative value. Okay.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, Azarya, please.
How we can differentiate when it's negative or not from binary to decimal, like for I will use bahasa, sir, for
Okay, please.
Jadi ya kan tadi kan heksadesimal dibagi 4 Pak. Nah itu ada negatifnya juga nggak Pak? Dan gimana cara kita bedain kalau misalkan kita gunain itu angka negatif dan itu bukan angka negatif?
Okay, very good question. In hexadecimal, the main reason why we use hexadecimal is just to simplify its binary system. Because in binary system, it's very long and take a lot of space. So we need to represent this sequence of bit by using hexadecimal. So if in the binary, we have the sign bit in here, let's say this is 1, so that means it's a negative value. That means this is not a 5 anymore, but 8 plus 4 plus 1, which is 13. And 13 is D. So instead of putting 5 in here, it is a D. So the one who receive this information will understand that the sign bit is active. The sign bit is 1. So this must be a negative number. So that's why before we use, I want to use 1 complement or I want to use 2 complement. We need to agree from the sender and also the receiver. Hi, I want to send a value, a negative value using 1 complement. Okay, okay. So I want to send this sequence of bit, and then when the sign bit is 1, the receiver will understand that, this one is a negative number. That's the same reason why we need to declare in C language whether it is an integer C or unsigned integer C. Because we need to clear first, this one has a signed bit or does not have a signed bit. Because this one has no signed bit, but this one has a signed bit. Okay, so if the question is how do we represent negative value in hexadecimal, it's just the same thing like in binary. It uses the sign bit because hexadecimal is just a way to represent a sequence of bit in a simple way, in a more simple way. Okay, that's Azarya.
Yes, sir.
Any other question?
No, it's clear.
Okay, if there's no question, then why don't we have a quiz now? Let me stop the recording.